Travis Wayne Goodsell. In 2014, I began doing YouTube videos that were exceedingly primitive on my Paleo-Hebrew decipherment, Egyptian decipherment, and other topics that I had been working on in the 2000s. Philosophy of Mormonism, other scripture-related subjects and topics. Then, on November 4th, 2016, Fox 13 News Utah had a news segment on the coming of the total solar eclipse over the whole United States of America. And so my videos then changed. I now began doing videos to teach about signs in the heavens and the likeness of things on the earth. Except that I didn't know about that until after Monson died. It was right there. Stupid Christians putting everything in the wrong order. So yeah, the signs of the latter days in the heavens. It's all over scriptures talking about signs in the heavens for the latter days. All Mormons know about it. All Mormons know about President Benson saying that the Book of Mormon's second coming to the Americas is a parallel for the latter-day second coming in the Americas. But nobody understood what he meant. But at least, signs in the heavens, signs in the heavens. And then in the 2018 to 2019s, I found the receipt of all 15 leaders of the church under Monson in 2008 who had all signed the check to have me removed from society, disappeared, tortured, and murdered. I got the receipt. All because I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. And in case you are a Mormon or an expo and you have no clue what that means, well, everybody told me what it meant and why I couldn't have deciphered Paleo-Hebrew when I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. It means I'm the head of the church. 107 verses 91 and 92. And so Mormons, because I'm not in the title, therefore I can't be him. Screw fruits to be judged by. Titles are fruit. And I don't have the title fruit. Church knew exactly what that meant. That's why they did to me what they did to me. And so I coupled exposing the church with exposing of church history that I had been doing since 2018. Because at the end of 2017 into 2018, I was doing research on who murdered Joseph Smith. I started at the crime scene and got into it and then went, oh crap. And so I went to the beginning with Joseph Smith Sr., Lucy Mack, with their family in Vermont, and did a thorough research going forward. So with Signs in the Heavens, I'm doing church history videos. And then I found the receipt. And so my videos were no longer faith promoting, because I know who'd done it. And I've had Mormons say, what happened to you? You used to talk about your faith in the church. Really? Are you sure you've been watching? To do Paleo-Hebrew videos, to do Signs in the Heavens videos, it was still going against the church. The video that got me booted out of the church without excommunication was the one on this channel about Adam fell that man might be. I found the Egyptian document. I found the Egyptian document that went over the various Egyptians on the brass plates. First Nephi chapter 19 verse 10. And the God of our fathers who were led out of Egypt, out of bondage, and also who were preserved in the wilderness by him, yea, the God of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob, yieldeth himself according to the words of the angel as a man into the hands of wicked men, to be lifted up according to the words of Enoch, to be crucified according to the words of Nahum, and to be buried in a sepulchre according to the words of Zenos. And he spake concerning the 3 days of darkness, which should be a sign given of his death unto those who should inhabit the isles of the sea, more especially given unto those who are of the house of Israel. For thus spake the prophet. All in the Egyptian documents. Book of Mormon is true. Wah, Mormons, for not believing. It's one thing to say you're a Mormon. It's another thing to not believe you're a Mormon as Mormon when you say you're Mormon and you're proud that you're a Mormon. And you know nothing of Mormonism. You know nothing of your scriptures. You are an imposter, a fraud, a charlatan. And yes, I have just finished Frasier season 13. What? It only had 11 seasons, Travis. But then there's that reboot that he's doing on CBS, which he's only on season 2. Oh, got it. There you go. I like this reboot. It's fun. Makes the cameos of Roz awesome. Anyway, and so the bishop was informed, because he doesn't watch YouTube. He knows nothing about what I'm doing on YouTube and the videos I do. He told me so. He was informed by the Strengthening Church Members Committee, who have been spying on me. They called him and said, Travis has done a YouTube video that's going against the living prophets of Jesus. Adam fell, huh? From the Book of Mormon. And it's against the living prophets of Jesus? Huh. Uh-huh. And so nobody threatens me to deny the truth. So I left. I don't come back. And so when I found out that Brigham Young was responsible for the assassination of Joseph Smith, there's no way in hell I'm going back. And then I find the receipt. Yeah. Bleep you. So now I find out that the church has declared war on me and have begun to try to hurt me again. As I'm having to do videos about how I'm under attack. I am being hurt physically, financially, abusively. All Mormons are being ordered to attack, destroy, and murder me. And for what again? Doing Signs in the Heavens videos, Paleo Hebrew, scriptures. That Brigham was responsible for assassinating Joseph Smith. That the whole leadership signed the order and the receipt to have me assassinated? So I'm the enemy? So, the church is under my close scrutiny, as I believe I'm doing church news videos whenever I come across them, doing conference talk videos, because I now know the enemy. Know thine enemy. And in 2020, I find out that the church is involved with China. I already exposed the church involved with Russia in 2018 for the 2016 presidential election. That video, I believe, is in the prerequisite video playlist that I have newly created. Going over, oh, it's in the calendar year. That's right. 2016, the calendar year. Yeah. Covered it in that one. That is correct. 11 years of the latter days, something like that. I'm on 2018 right now. I gotta work on that one for you one of these years. We're running out of time. The latter days are over. We're winding it all down. And so in 2020, I make the connection that the church is directly responsible for COVID. Fox News was the only news to come forward and say it was a man-made virus in a lab in Wuhan. Fox News, of all news. And I've made the connection to the church. Because Nelson is making it blatantly obvious, not trying to cover it up whatsoever. Shanghai! I called them up, said, hey, how can we profit off of this? Sure enough, 2021, Fox 13 News Utah comes out and says, yeah, the church made money off of COVID year. Everybody else suffered except for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who made an additional $6 billion only for the stock investments that we know of from Ensign Peak Advisors, as the church got whistleblowed on in December of 2019. See, I'm making the connections, Mormons. You come to one video and have no clue what I'm talking about, and therefore I must be wrong. You never bother to check. And so you are the ones getting conned when I am your warning voice. And all of you are then programmed as Manchurian candidates to seek to destroy and murder me, erase me from history, when you have no clue that I am supposed to be your leader. See, even TikTok has no clue who I am. I got an email from TikTok saying, here's your verification code, Travis. What the hell? I'm not on TikTok. What? Nothing to do with TikTok. What are you sending me a verification for? What are you doing? Stop it. Go away. What the hell? What the hell? Verification code for TikTok. Unbelievable. And so I sued the church. Had to do it twice because Pharaoh kept saying no. They refused to recuse themselves. They refused to allow the church to be exposed. And so I had filed that the church was involved in violations of the Insurrection Act. And because it was a RICO, the magistrate judge who received it and had to make the initial decision had, as legally required, sent it to Attorney General Bill Barr at the time. And the weekend before he would send it back to Utah, denying his involvement in any of it, came out with a meeting to other prosecutors saying, hey, I learned about this Insurrection Act. I want you guys to use this on Black Lives Matter protesters. Oops, they didn't. But, hey, what do you know? January 6th, after the election. Then, once, after a long delay, people were starting to get arrested, and the Insurrection Act was being used on them. But in 2020, the abuse towards me was escalating to where they were poisoning me to try to murder me. But in August, the property manager sent me a signed, dated death threat for next year, 2021. We're letting you go this year, Travis, not next year. Excuse me? So, as we approach October conference 2021, YouTube, under the orders of the Biden administration, was banning anybody who did a video on COVID. And so, yes, I was targeted. They had an AI system, or maybe it was the Strengthening Church Members Committee, or maybe it was the Mormon YouTube employee, who were digging up my old videos and having them banned, pulled from YouTube for only talking about what the news was talking about, but with the connection to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Pulled. Some of them didn't even have anything to do with COVID. They just pulled it. Said it was medical misinformation. As if YouTube's the experts on medical misinformation, let alone any information from a medical perspective. They're not. But that was the piss poor excuse they were giving creators. And so, 2 strikes, and my channel was denied. Actually, it was 1. 1 strike. And I was banned from doing videos for 3 months. And so then I had to switch over to TWG, which was originally started to be a business thing to focus on Paleo-Hebrew, Egyptian, that I was using with my website. But after I first filed in the federal courts, the church had made the switch. They bought out they are the major stock investors in the company that bought out the website and ordered them to shut me down right after I sued. I've got the receipts. Got the receipts. That's what you do when you're investigating a crime. I know how to do it. The police here in Salt Lake County, Salt Lake City, don't know how to investigate a crime. They're always putting out through the news, Hey, if anybody knows who done it, please give us a call. Despite cameras, despite forensic investigation of blood splatter, DNA, we have no clue how to do investigation of a crime. It's amazing we're able to lock anybody up. We just randomly lock up 3,000 per year. It's per month, actually, in 2008. But I did the video, it's 1,000 now. After Operation Rio Grande. That's why there's so many homeless. Over 3,000 homeless. Because they're not in jail anymore. They just did the switch. And that's what got Chief Brown fired by Sister Homewrecker Mendenhall. And I just, oh my God, a potential teen out on the streets. And I'm calling it in, saying there's a potential teen that is sleeping under the underpass. Send some officers. Well, does it look like they need medical attention? What do you mean, does it look? A potential teen endangered under the law automatically. The police should be rushing out there. Dear God. Medical treatment. Dear God. And I had to explain to her, Chief Brown got fired by Sister Homewrecker Mendenhall. Obviously, I didn't say it that way. For not taking care of the homeless. And you're wondering if there's any other kind of excuse to use to deny sending out officers. Dear God. So heads up, new guy. The people under you are going to sabotage you too. Anyway. And so they got me on both channels now. And so right before October conference in 2021, we're getting closer to when the threat to have me attacked is coming. And the news comes out and says the Southern Poverty Law Center has released the leaked membership of the secret combination of the United States of America seeking to overthrow the United States of America. A listing of members from 2014. So I obtained a copy and went through it and went, oh crap, oh crap. Bingo. That's how the church is behind all of it. They're going through the secret combination to get their will done. The Skousens. Cleon Skousen was first when it first was organized to make sure the will of the church got done. Since 1981 with Reagan. Everything that has sought to terrorize, overthrow, and destroy the United States of America can all be tied to this criminal secret combination organization. And there's the Skousen representing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. as his firstborn birthright blessing son was the one to replace him when he died, as he was listed as an honorary member having died. To be born and raised in the church, being told about how awesome Joseph is, how true the Book of Mormon is, and then to find out that they don't actually believe any of them. They don't believe the Book of Mormon. They ain't following it. They don't believe Joseph Smith. They don't follow his words. The church now took Benson as an apostle speaking to BYU, saying, hey, Joseph is dead, we don't follow him anymore. The prophets of the Book of Mormon are dead, we don't follow them anymore. Only the living president we follow. So Mormons have an excuse to continue to not study their scriptures and not run the test on the current living president. So that they can get conned, led as lambs to the slaughter in a coming day, if not already. And so I take the risk to upload a video. The initial probation for not being allowed to upload is over, but I'm still under probation for 6 months total, because if I get caught again during this probationary period for one strike, YouTube's got me, and they shut down my channel, which could be years denying me from posting videos. But I knew that the information was important enough to get it to you guys, and I did the video. And then did my conference videos. And then I had been trying to find the Mormon myth from its original source about Adam on Diamond. I knew about it, all Mormons do. Adam on Diamond, the priesthood meeting. Jesus gets the keys. I was trying to find it. I found it. Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., The Way to Perfection. As initially I had found a member of the 70 who did not reference it and claimed credit for it. In a publication that he had done. But then I found the original source. In this council in the valley of Adam on Diamond is to be of the greatest importance to this world. At that time, there will be a transfer of government authority from the usurper and impostor Lucifer. What? To the rightful king, Jesus Christ. What the bleeping hell? That is nothing like the myth. What the hell? Check this out. When this gathering is held, The world will not know of it. The members of the church will not know of it. Yet it shall be preparatory to the coming in the clouds of glory of our Savior, Jesus Christ. The world cannot know of it. The saints cannot know of it. It is this church who has threatened us to pay tithing, or we're going to be burned with the second coming of Jesus. It's found nowhere in scriptures that Jesus is the burner. The day cometh that shall burn as an oven. I don't see Jesus in that. But Joseph Smith, however, I knew what he had said, and he makes it very clear it ain't Jesus. After telling me these things, he commenced quoting the prophecies of the Old Testament. Prophecies of the Old Testament. He first quoted part of the 3rd chapter of Malachi, and he quoted also the 4th or last chapter of the same prophecy, though with a little variation from the way it reads in our Bibles. Instead of quoting the first verse as it reads in our books, he quoted it thus: For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly, shall burn as stubble. For they that come shall burn them, saith the Lord. The living prophets of Jesus are again going against the scriptures, threatening Mormons to pay up or be burned with the second coming of Jesus. When Mormons believe it was Jesus who was talking directly to Joseph Smith, he says, "It's not me, but the enemy." And Mormons had no clue that the enemy was exposed in verse 1, who changed the name of Joseph's church. This was a bombshell, and sure enough, time's up, Travis. I was sent a death threat at my bus stop. And sure enough, the threat commenced. And I was able to hold it off until June 6th, 2022. Man, they had to fire a lot of people who failed. Mormons. And so, yeah, here I am now, since 2023. As again, I'm fulfilling prophecies, I'm fulfilling dreams that were prophecies. And so the church, upset that other people had to be fired for allowing me to get here, sicked my brother on me. He failed. He was financially hurt for the $2,000 for lawyer retainer. Everybody's trying to murder me. Everybody's trying to destroy me. Everybody's trying to silence me of the blatant, obvious threat of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Because in doing church history videos for you, I came across the Danites. I came across 1838. So I know all about this. That's why when I found Joseph Fielding Smith's Way to Perfection, I understood what it meant. He, however, didn't. The Danites were claiming that Jesus is going to do it. Whereas Thomas B. Marsh, in his affidavit to the governor of Missouri, said the Danites said they're going to do it. So yeah, that was the way it was. They would tell their inner circle of their plans. But to others, they all used Jesus. And so yeah, I've been doing all those videos. Benjamin Franklin Johnson. Yeah, I moved with my family to Adam-on-Diamond, and I was arrested. And a hooligan threatened me to deny the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I never denied my testimony of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And his gun wouldn't fire. He was actively involved in the insurrection in 1838. And the paying of the Judas price that would be used to assassinate Joseph Smith. That's what your current tithing is being used for, Mormons. To betray you. That's why the Mormons in Southern California that got burned, the church didn't step in with fire insurance to restore your lives. But their hearts are with you. How much does it take until a Mormon says enough? There are over 15 million who have left the church currently. The church only has 2.5 to 3 million, maybe 3.5 million, somewhere in there, that are still calling themselves Mormon. The rest left, want nothing to do with the church. Just like me. Oh, really? The prophets are going against the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith, and I have to deny that truth, or I shouldn't be coming to church anymore? Yeah, whatever. It didn't occur to me immediately, hey, I don't need to wear the underwear anymore. I think it was after my temple recommend that was still in my wallet. I'm going, oh, it expired. I don't need it anymore. Oh, wait a minute, the underwear. Oh. So the first thing to go was the tops, because it would often peek out. And so, yeah, that was an easy one to get rid of first. But the bottoms, it was like, well, they have no power. They're not a shield and a protection to me against the power of the destroyer until I have finished my work on the earth. That has been made very evident. The destroyer being the church. But, yeah, when I finally realized I need to buy all new underwear, what do I get? Unbelievable. So, yeah, Michael Jordan's choice, obvious. If I could be like Mike. And so, I'm now wondering, 2023, 2024, the big sign happens. I'm doing all these videos. All the signs in the heavens have happened now. But no Zion. No Jesus. The Jewish Christ showed. He's been here the whole time for Mormons. But I'm confused. What's going on? There should have been the second coming of mass murder and government coup. And they failed in 2020 and 2021. I mean, sure, yeah, there was a mass murder, but they failed to coup the government. And so I'm confused. What the hell? Did the enemy fail? Are all of the scriptures ruined? In vain? What the hell? All these years exposing this church, exposing the whole plot, revealing the scriptures for you, showing you how it all is prophesied and revealed and all fulfilled, and now it's all done, and how many more years do we have to go? It was supposed to be done. We were supposed to be in Zion. What's going on? I did my part. And I'm being teased as I end up fulfilling other scripture prophecies. I have some of my own that get fulfilled. Right, Nelson? And yet, it's all meaningless if I don't get Zion. If I can't get Mormons saved from this great and abominable church to Zion, it's all in vain. That's the whole point, is to get Mormons to safety. It's all in vain otherwise. And Mormons don't want to listen. Mormons keep attacking me. Mormons keep disagreeing. No, Jesus, he's going to hurt you, Travis. He's going to guilt trip you. Make you feel sorry for turning on him. And so late last year, the YouTube Mormon employee thought that he was superior to me to show that the church is true. And there was a Mormon who's popular on YouTube who did a video because he had been passed a missionary's mission post by another woman who does videos on YouTube, Sister Jessica, who posted her mission president's letter to parents and stake presidents on the 26th of March 2020, in which the mission president quoted Dallin H. Oaks in the new mission president's mission meeting in Las Vegas, Nevada, Saturday, March 14th, 2020. And I know that when Mormons see the thumbnail picture with this in it, they have seen that Mormon's channel who gets over 100,000 views. If not the other woman in combination. Mormons know what I'm talking about. Whether or not they remember the guy who did the video on it. They know this is legitimate. And all of them run and hide. They do not want to accept this as true. Remember, this is 2020. I had just served the church on February 24th. And Dallin H. Oaks got exposed confessing that he and the church are the enemies. That I had already done all the videos, now over 8.5K on both channels. There is no way any Mormon can somehow prove the church is true and good. It cannot be done, Mormons. I have over 8.5K videos against you. Because I did the research. You didn't. And so yes, as I talked to you in this morning's video, this is in chiasmus. English chiasmus. Because of what we know as Mormons. This is not the end of the world, but merely a test, a trial run for the second coming. Oaks in 2020. The chiasmus is end of the world with second coming. A test with a trial run. Thus the chiasmus. That's his diversion. Mormons think the church is true, that Jesus, yay! Mormons don't know the source origin that I've been doing the videos for about the origin of the myth of Adam on Diamond. That I've done the research for. That 2020 was COVID, the mass murder of humans all over the earth. And an attempted coup of our government. The second coming of Jesus. By the Danites, who told Thomas B. Marsh they're gonna do it. But then we're telling Mormons who were not in the inner circle, like Joseph Fielding Smith Sr., that son of Hiram. Can't tell him anything. He'll expose us. So we'll just say Jesus. And so yeah, he leaks it. Just like little sister Jessica, just like the mission president. They are not in the inner circle. And so they do not understand that Oaks exposed himself as the enemy. They do not understand that that's why Oaks doesn't want you to record him. Don't do it. Don't you dare. Oops. I catch on. I know. I do the videos. And I've been trying to make sure that almost every single video gets this in there for you. And so yes, finally I found out why it hadn't happened yet. When all the scriptures have been fulfilled, all of the signs in the heavens have happened. All my videos were not in vain. This is now when they are going to finish it. (2020 and 2021 was the test run. Now it's happening. And Mormons still are too dense to figure it out. Because Nelson came out in October conference and again repeated, in the coming day, Jesus, second coming. Where is he? Where is he? So we don't have mass murder yet. They're switching it around this time. They did the coup first. They're destroying the federal government first. And once that is complete, then will come the mass murders all around the globe until Shiz and Coriantumr are the only ones left, and Shiz gets his head cut off. And then he tries to lift up his body and gasp for breath, and then falls in his gore. Yeah, the Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith warned you of this. I have been doing all my videos to warn you of this, to save you and get you to Zion and life evermore. Hosanna and Hosanna to God and the Lamb. And you reject it. You refuse to believe. You refuse to do your study and research. You refuse to run the scripture tests on the living prophets. As Oaks this year has already come out 3 times to threaten your lives of the mass murder of the coming of Jesus. It's coming, and it's by Easter on the 20th of April. And so, yeah, we've got less than a month. So So now do you understand why I do Trump ICE 2025 videos for you? Paying very close attention to what Trump is up to. Paying very close attention to the church news and anything the leaders of the church, which Oaks, because Nelson's on his deathbed, is up to. All to warn you that it's about to reach its final solution for America and the world. The church is playing both sides to cause the destruction. The church is in charge. The church is giving the orders. The church is profiting off of all of this. The church ordered Trump to plan a war on China. The church betrayed China. The church manipulated China to get the temple to become popular in the eyes of Mormons, to show the church is true and to profit off of COVID. The church is the enemy. And they're old men. They have no power. And I can't get this through to anybody. I have stood and looked into the eyes of Lucifer himself on several occasions. Baby name meaning. I stand all amazed at how accurate the prophecies are. Not just astronomy, but stuff that nobody could possibly know are specifically accurate. It's unbelievable. What does it take to get through to Mormons to warn you of the danger you're all in? So let's go over what Isaiah said, because obviously Mormons don't want him to be fulfilled. 17, right? No. 14? There it is. Oops. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? This is from the Latin Vulgate. It is not in the biblical Hebrew or the Septuagint. So what's it doing in the Book of Mormon? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. And he never will. Oakes quoted a scripture that referred to ascension, but didn't say the word ascension, finally. But Nelson never, ever says that Jesus ascended. Only resurrected. That's why the symbol of the church is Jesus coming out of the tomb. That's our symbol now. It's not the cross, because that's Christians. Which is a symbol of ascension, if you understood. It's the sign in the heavens in story form. The sign in the heavens. X marks the spot. Crossroads of the sun god at noonday. His full name. Anyway. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Well, you need the right keys and you need to produce the fruits. You can't do it, can you? Yeah. You can't impose yourself as the master. Get off my court. If you can be like the Most High. Pfft. If only. You can't even be like Mike. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble? That did shake kingdoms? That the world as a wilderness, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof? I warned you. You gotta get to Zion. Otherwise, all is wasted. All is utterly destroyed. All is lost. All is vain. That openeth not the house of his prisoners, the Mormons. Thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as the carcass trodden under feet. Thou hast destroyed thy land, and slain thy people. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Cut off from Babylon the name, and remnant, and son, and nephew. Possession for the bittern and pools of water. Sweep it with the besom of destruction. So shall it come to pass. I've been here the whole time. Where were you?